Hello everyone, Lidarian here, and today I'm going to be bringing you, not necessarily a tutorial, but a topic on EVE Online about multiboxing. This is going to be for those who are interested in multiboxing, or who are just kind of still getting new to the game, kind of getting familiar with it, what multiboxing is. So without further ado, let's get into it. What is multiboxing, first of all? This is when you have two or more accounts with a subscription in the game. We're not necessarily talking about alpha. You can do this, but it's against the EULA, and I'm not necessarily going to brush on that because it's more like legal issues and whatnot. Multiboxing is when you have two or more active subscriptions in the game. Not necessarily characters. This isn't multiboxing when you have three characters on one screen. It's when you have multiple characters over a spread of accounts like this. As you can see on my screen right now, I have 6 account screens with the character menus on all of them because I was just logging into the game. This is what multiboxing is. Actually, I think this is called like hexaboxing. There's dual boxing, which is just using 2 accounts. There's like triple boxing, which is 3, quad 4, and then it just goes up and up. Multiboxing is just the general term that is used. So let's just go ahead and tab back over to this screen here. So I'm going to log in here and I'm going to tell you what is necessarily beneficial about multiboxing compared to just using a standard single account to play the game. Multiboxing is very beneficial in a lot of ways. It allows you to essentially give you multiple eyes in the game. Say you had a capital ship, like say for instance, I don't know, I wanted to move my super carrier to another system. Obviously this thing is worth a lot of fucking money. I wouldn't really want to necessarily do that on my own. So what I would use is I would use an account, let's just say I'll just log in this account. I could use this account as like a sino to jump my carrier to, or I can use it as a scout like if I was moving a freighter through. Nothing is more reliable than your own intel when you're looking through it yourself. Sure, you can have another person in your corporate alliance, scout out for you, but this is EVE. I'm not saying they're not trustworthy, but how much trust do you want to put into them with something expensive like this? So, this is where dual boxing comes in. So, it's very recommended in EVE if you have a capital ship or a ship that's very expensive, it's very beneficial to have a second account that can be your eyes for you. Now, with that said, it's obviously going to increase in cost. You'd obviously be adding another subscription to your current subscription. So, luckily, in EVE you can pay for it with Plex and whatnot, or you can just go through and pay with a US dollar or your whatever currency. Another thing that's expected, obviously when you go up and type a ship grade, like if you were to get into a capital, it's recommended you get another account, but it's also kind of expected for your, I guess, amount of money you make in the game to go up as well. Like, carrier rating can make quite a lot of money compared to a sub-capital rating in nullsec. Same thing applies for a super. When you get a super, you can easily make like 50 to 70 million per tick, which is every 20 minutes, while riding in nullsec. So add that up, that's 180 million ISK an hour you'd be making with a super carrier, on average. So with that said, it's a lot easier to afford multiple accounts without really adding many expenses. Another thing that's nice is, say you had a super carrier and you were living under an umbrella, or you were just on your own and you were to get tackled and you need like a quick response. Like I said, nothing is more reliable than when you're doing shit by yourself. So post-recording here. One of the things I noticed when I said this is nothing is more reliable than yourself. I didn't mean to say in a way where you don't rely on courtmates or alliance members at all. Obviously, it's fine to trust them and have faith in them, but when it comes to like an immediate response, it's best if you were to do that on your own before going to others, or instead of depending on them for that immediate response. It's best to do that on your own. So I'm actually going to log in this character here. It's not ISBox won't let me switch the screen yet, but this character that I'm loading in, hopefully it'll load in soon. There we go. So obviously it isn't a stealth bomber right now, but I have 2 faxes with Force Auxiliary, which are the capital logistics ships. I can easily just, light a sign on my main character while the rest of the fleet is forming to come and save me. I can send in my fax and provide hands-on assistance to save my ship. This may go down in the process, but I would be saving my super carrier in the long run. This isn't necessarily going to be a tutorial about supers or whatnot. This is just the benefits of having another account for multiboxing. Now, one of the challenges with multiboxing is you're definitely going to be doing a lot more mouse clicking. You're going to be moving a lot more around the screen. You're going to have another set of eyes, but you're constantly going to have to be checking that set of eyes. You're not just focused on one screen. You're constantly moving around. You're checking all your different visuals and performing on actions on each of them. Now, some of you guys may say in the comments, oh, but there's broadcasting. Broadcasting is not allowed in the game anymore. That was ended like back in 2015. You have to manually call for each action, so you can't broadcast a target, broadcast lock a target on all your characters. You have to do that on each different account. And there's different IS boxer setups, which we'll go into a bit later, that will make it easier for you. I just prefer using a standard 6-screen setup. That way I can just easily tab to it. This is like a standard IS boxer setup where this is the big screen is your live screen and all these are your different other screens. So if I want to switch to my fax, I can easily switch to my fax. If I want to switch to my long point, I can switch to my long point. Easy as that. I'm just going to log in my other characters here. Like that. I'm just going to tab back over here. Now, some of you guys may be asking, why the fuck do you need 6 accounts? And the answer to that is, you don't. You don't need 6 accounts. I just like to have it because I like to have my own fleet. I like to be able to perform a multitude of roles very easily. So, while multiboxing is beneficial, you don't have to do it. It's recommended that you get a second account to make capital gameplay easier on you, but it is not like a game demanding requirement for you to have multiple accounts. So that's just what multiboxing is in EVE. It's a different style of gameplay, and I'm personally, I like the gameplay. I like the experience. I like being able to constantly play the game from different angles at the same time. So that's just my opinion, that's my topic, and that's going to be the end of today's discussion on multiboxing. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.